Is there anything worse than suddenly being asked to say a few words at a banquet?
Yes, I can think of a lot of things that are worse, such as getting up to speak half-dressed. Get your shirt on, Albert.
Joe didn't even give me any warning, Just stopped me on the way home tonight and told me. And I said, oh, no, Joe, I can't speak. But he insisted.
You'll be wonderful. Now stop worrying. Which tie do you want?
It won't be very wonderful if I can't think of anything to say. Oh, Ethel, why did Joe have to ask me to speak of all people? Why?
Why are you so nervous? Didn't he just ask you to get up and say who planned the food and the entertainment?
Yeah, but I don't know how to say it.
Oh, you are buttoning your shirt wrong. Let me do it. Your hands are just shaking, dear.
I think I'll call Joe up and say I'm sick.
Oh, you can do no such thing. Now, look, all you have to do is get up and say, I want to announce that Dutchy O'Brien and Petey Grewalski planned the food and entertainment, and I think we should all give them a vote of thanks. Then everybody will clap and you sit down.
Oh, now what's so funny about that?
Well, does it have to be funny? Tuck your shirt in, dear.
Of course it has to be funny.
Well, one thing it has to be is short. Don't get up and talk forever. As you did once before when you were called on for a few words.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't there. You told me yourself you went on, couldn't seem to stop. 25 minutes, you said you babbled.
Well, I couldn't find a good ending.
Now, which tie do you want?
Oh, I don't know anything. If you just keep quiet, will you let me think?
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, dear. I'll find your cufflinks. You be thinking of what to say now.
I am reminded of a funny story about a... Oh, give me a funny story, will you? Ethel, why don't you help me?
Well, you just told me to be quiet.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so darn nervous. I don't know what I'm doing.
You need a doctor instead of a speech expert. Here, let me dab your chin.
What?
Just slashed your face to ribbon shaving, dear.
Hey, wait a minute. That's it.
Huh?
Listen, I get up, see, and I say, is there a doctor in the house?
Yeah. Oh, yes. You were so nervous at the thought of speaking, you nearly cut your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Now, listen. I say, I get up and I say, is there a doctor in the house?
Yeah.
That gets everybody's attention, see? And just before the dinner, I tip off Doc Adams, so he raises his hand at that point. And then I say, oh, there's the doctor.
Yes.
And listen now, while I don't like to mention names, Dutchy O'Brien and Petey Grewalski planned the food tonight. So I thought you'd all be happy to know that there's a doctor handy. Yeah, that'll get a big laugh, you see.
What if it doesn't?
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes those things fall flat, dear. And Dutchy and Petey have probably worked like dogs on this banquet. You didn't help, and they asked you.
Look, I'm just kidding. They'll all know I'm kidding. We always do that.
well-
Look, I know what I'm doing. Now, this is great, really.
Yeah, all right, it's great. I still think you should say something to take the sting out of it.
Oh,
You should, dear.
well, all right. Oh, I tell you what, then I'll say, see, I'm glad to know there's a doctor here, too. After what I said, I may need him.
Oh, yes, that's good.
See
that's
what I
good.
mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
kind of short and sweet, huh?
That's nice.
Well, that's it, I think. Boy, is there anything nicer than to know that you got a darn good speech?
Yeah, short and sweet. Now you can't wait to give it.
No.
Oh, here, get your tie on, dear. You better rehearse a little bit, hadn't you?
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
guess so.
stumble
Is
on
there
that.
is there a doctor in the house? Oh, there he is. Well,
I'll get you
Oh,
one.
that's Bill, honey. That's Bill. He's picking me up. He said he'd call when he left the house.
All right, you practice your speech. I'll get
Yeah,
you one.
yeah. Now, let's see.
Hello?
Is there a doctor in the house? Oh, there he is. Well, now, I don't like to mention names, but Dutchy O'Brien and Petey Grewalski planned the food tonight. So
Albert!
I'm sure you'll be glad to know.
Dear, I know you'll be glad to know.
Ethel.
You don't have to give the speech.
You'll be glad to know that... What?
No, Joe isn't calling on you. You were so upset, he asked Dave Bach to do it instead.
Well, you...
Well, what's the matter? Are you mad or glad?
I don't know. I guess it's the first time in my life I can truthfully say I'm speechless.